Okay, good morning. Welcome to Delaware County Council meeting, July 26, 2022, here in the Delaware County Commissioners Courtroom. I'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. First, I'd like to take just a minute here, a moment of silence for Cindy Hardy. Everybody knows Cindy passed away. If we could just have a moment of silence, and then if anybody on council wants to say anything, you're more than welcome to.
Today's her birthday.
Yeah, today was her birthday.
Scott, we also, the funeral today for Rosie Mitchell that worked in the treasurer's office for many years.
All right, and Rosie as well. If everybody would just take a moment of silence. Thank you.
I would like to say something.
Go ahead, Ron.
Cindy was the secretary for 4 years while I was a county commissioner, and she always had a smile on her face. We're opposite politics, and I was pretty political in those days. But she always treated me with great respect. She's the only person I've ever known that could talk on the phone and type like this at the same time. She was just a wonderful person to know.
Absolutely.
Anybody else? Ed, would you like to say anything or?
Yes. I had the opportunity to work with Cindy also, and she was very easy to work with, very delightful, a great person to be around. And she always felt there. She worked with us on each spring on the tax preparations, so tax statements. Always prepared with all the information needed to complete that process. So.
Thank you, guys. Let's go ahead with the Pledge of Allegiance. And what's that?
You want to do roll call?
I got it after that. Denise, you want to go ahead?
Sure. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We are ready for roll call, please.
Mr. Ballard.
Here.
Ms. Chambers.
Here.
Ms. Lassiter.
Here.
Ms. Piper.
Here.
Mr. Quakenbush.
Here.
Mr. Webb.
Here.
Mr. Alexander.
Here.
Mr. Freeman.
Here.
Here shortly. Ms. Smith. Yeah. Jonesmore. And
Here.
Ms. Lars.
All good?
Yep.
All right. Once again, questions from the public may be directed to the county council email address. That's countycouncildist@co.delaware.in.us. And you can contact your council members at any time during the month. And then we will also have, if there is any, we will have some public comment at the end of the meeting. Denise, was the agenda posted, advertised?
Yeah.
Okay. I need an approval of the agenda.
So moved.
Motion from Piper, second from Ballard. Roll call, please.
Mr. Ballard.
Yes.
Ms. Chambers.
Yes.
Ms. Lassiter.
Yes.
Ms. Piper.
Yes.
Mr. Quakenbush. Mr. Webb.
Yes.
Mr. Alexander.
Yes. And I'd entertain an approval of the June 28 minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Motion from Piper, second, or motion from Lassiter, second from Piper. Any questions, discussion, changes? Roll call, please, Donna.
Ms. Chambers.
Abstain.
Ms. Lassiter.
Yes.
Ms. Piper.
Yes.
Mr. Quakenbush.
Yes.
Mr. Webb.
Yes.
Mr. Ballard.
Yes.
Mr. Alexander.
Yes. All right, and we need to set an adoption date for 2023 budget. I talked to Donna. They're going to be out of, several in the auditor's office are going to be out at training. What are those dates?
The week of the 19th, and Jane will also be going to.
Okay, so we probably
I
need,
don't know if any of the rest of you are going, but
to look at prior to that.
no. September, the week of September 19th.
Oh, I thought you said October. All
September.
right. Okay, so
I thought you guys already said a date and not.
first week or two in October.
That was to start, and this is to finish.
Oh,
Sooner,
okay.
earlier in October, the better.
Yeah, fall
So,
break is the 10th through the 14th. I
Last
know
year
for
you did it
Yorktown
on
schools.
October the 11th, and that would be a good week to do it.
What week was that?
The week of the 10th.
That's fall break for Yorktown schools and possibly.
Delcom
Del-
schools.
I believe
Delta.
it's all schools
Is
in the
it?
county.
Yeah,
Who does that bother?
people with children.
None of you guys, right?
I got two at Yorktown.
Then I would
but
go,
Still be
I
there,
wouldn't
though.
go any earlier.
Wouldn't,
Nope. You can try the week of October the 4th or 3rd.
Yeah, I think let's look at that week towards the end of the week, maybe on a Thursday.
The 6th, October 6th.
Yeah. And with your schedule, Ryan, is early afternoon better than morning
Yes, sir.
for that? So like maybe 1 o'clock?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's fine, as long as you guys don't make any changes. Don't forget, because if you make changes, you gotta be done by midnight. So if you start later
I know.
and we come in and somebody makes a change, and then I gotta go down and redo everything, so.
Right.
I mean, for me, even super late morning or right at noon, just because I work night shift, so it's something where I could get a few hours of sleep, I'm good. Just either super late morning or early afternoon, either way.
Yeah, if we make it,
It doesn't matter to
otherwise,
me, just
if
gotta
we
be
do
done
it
by
before
midnight.
lunch, we're gonna run into lunch for a lot of the employees and stuff. So let's go 1 o'clock. That Thursday, October the 6th.
Yeah.
And we'll just make sure we're done by then.
If we make changes, it has to be done by midnight. We might be
No, I
back
think
in here at
that's
11
final.
o'clock.
Yeah,
It's gonna be
that's a
The
possibility.
final
so-
option.
Yeah, that's gonna be the adoption date.
That's the problem.
Same schedule as last year.
Okay, everybody good with that?
See, there's-
We don't need any action on that, do we? We're just gonna set the date? Okay.
You know what that was?
Put it in the minutes.
What's that?
Put it in the minutes.
Okay. All right, next up, we have the second reading of ordinance defining terms and establishing procedures for hiring, implementing salaries for county employees, excluding merit officers. This was the 90%. It's a fairly, what we did is, again, this is going on, this will be the third month for this, but the only change, I'm gonna let Ben talk to you about the change on there was, go ahead, Ben.
Yes, so this is essentially the exact same ordinance that was brought up last month. There was one small addition that is added into, it would be section 9, added a paragraph L, that deals with some part-time, it's not hourly rates, but part-time per event rates for the coroner's office were added in under that small subsection. That's the only change from when it was presented last month. And that would have been, other than also being included in one of the ordinances that would be repealed and replaced by this, as it would now be included in the body of this ordinance rather than being its own small standalone ordinance.
And just to be clear, that this was something that was already in place. All we're doing is adding it to make this more comprehensive.
Nothing is new. All of it is just basically recodifying it so that it's all in the same place rather than having to go through all of the ordinances to try to find one that might apply to your department or to something that you're researching. Nothing is being changed otherwise.
And this would,
Basically taking out that 90%.
what's that?
It's basically taking out that 90%.
Right, yeah, it's taking out the the 90%, but we would still have a probationary period.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, we discussed that. I'm sorry, the only change that was made to this ordinance from last month was that subsection. Previously, we had already discussed the 90%, which has also been removed based on prior discussions. The 90% pay rate during a probationary period has been removed. The probationary period remains, but there's no impact on pay during that period. And that's in section 8.
Any more questions from council? We've covered this pretty well, I think.
What was the ordinance number again?
2022-018.
Thank you.
And before you would take action, because we did make one small amendment, we'd have to move to amend to include the section I that has been included in here now.
So you would need that motion prior to adoption?
Yes.
And that would need to be approved, and then we would adopt.
If you want to adopt it as written, yes, you would need to move and pass an amendment to add that section I for the coroner, and then you could move, as it's the second reading, you could move to adopt the ordinance itself.
Okay.
Is that I or L?
I'm sorry, L. It's L. And it's in there as L. I just can't read.
It's lowercase, so it's tricky.
Lowercase L, yes.
I'd entertain a motion to approve 018.
Do we need to first move to adopt?
Amendment, yeah.
Amendment, so moved.
Second,
Go ahead,
give it
Jessica.
to Webb.
Motion from Piper, second from,
Ballard and Webb.
oh, sorry, motion from Webb,
No, Ballard.
motion from Ballard. You guys are down there, I can't hear who's doing what. All right,
From Ryan.
the two Ryans, yeah.
Right
Well played, Ron.
Motion from Ballard, second from Webb to amend to include section L. Any questions? Roll call, please, Donna.
Ms. Lassiter?
Yes.
Ms. Piper?
Yes.
Mr. Quakenbush?
Yes.
Mr. Webb?
Yes.
Mr. Ballard?
Yes.
Ms. Chambers?
Yes.
Mr. Alexander?
Yes. Now I would need a motion to approve ordinance 2022-018.
Move to approve?
Second.
Motion from Piper, second from Webb. Any discussion from council? Roll call, please, Donna.
Quakenbush?
Yes.
Mr. Webb?
Yes.
Mr. Ballard?
Yes.
Mr. Chambers?
Yes.
Ms. Lassiter?
Yes.
Ms. Piper?
Yes.
Mr. Alexander?
Yes. Thank you. We are on to the transfers. Financial addendum.
Okay.
And you're gonna read,
Regular
Donna?
transfers. Okay. Circuit Court, A 133 minus 13,790, B 133 plus 13,790, A 145 minus 13,426, B 145 plus 13,426, 113 minus 13,525.11, A 113 plus 13,525.11, total
Move to
request
approve.
0.
Second.
Motion from Quakenbush, second from Piper. Questions from council?
Yes, I'd ask Miss Emily, do you know if any of these employees have actually left the employment of Delaware County?
Emily Anderson, Court Administrator. This is one employee going to the prosecutor's office. Sorry,
Transfer?
that's a different one. This is one employee that left the courts and went outside of county. The rest of this is just movements up. But I do have one coming next month that left to the prosecutors. So this was just somebody that left. The rest of this is just movement up into different pay lines. So one employee left.
Any more questions from council? Roll call, please, Donna.
Mr. Webb?
Yes.
Mr. Ballard?
Yes.
Ms. Chambers?
Yes.
Ms. Lassiter?
Yes.
Ms. Piper?
Yes.
Mr. Quakenbush?
Yes.
Mr. Alexander?
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you.
Communication, 114 communication tech minus 15,117.92, A 114 plus 15,117.92, 128A minus 16,531.46, 128B plus 16,531.46, total request 0.
Move to approve?
Second.
Motion from Piper, second from Lassiter. Questions from council?
They both left.
Thank you.
Roll call, please, Donna.
Mr. Ballard?
Yes.
Ms. Chambers?
Yes.
Ms. Lassiter?
Yes.
Did she say yes?
Yes.
Ms. Piper?
Yes.
Mr. Quakenbush?
Yes.
Mr. Webb?
No.
You say no?
Yep.
Thank you. Mr. Alexander?
Yes.
6-1. Prosecutor A 114 investigator minus 15,000, B 114 investigator plus 15,000, total request 0.
Move to approve?
Second.
Motion from Piper, second from Lassiter.
Ballard.
Ballard?
You're
Okay,
married, Val.
either way, yeah.
Turn the hearing aid
My
up.
voice is not deep enough.
He needs them at 1 o'clock. No, not really.
Need a little button that lights up and tells me who it is, I guess. All right, so we've got a motion
Piper and Ballard.
and a second. Questions from council? Roll call, please, Donna.
Ms. Chambers?
Yes.
Ms. Lassiter?
Yes.
Ms. Piper?
Yes.
Mr. Quakenbush?
Yes.
Mr. Webb?
Yes.
Mr. Ballard?
Yes.
Mr. Alexander?
Yes. Thank you.
What's the page? Okay, treasurer, excuse me, 198 part-time minus 6,000. 361 equipment repairs minus 2,300. 442 computers plus 2,900, total request 0.
Move to approve?
Donna, read the amount for part-time again.
Minus 600.
You said 6,000.
And who else? Who seconded?
Not anyone yet.
I'll second. Go ahead.
Where was the motion? All right, motion from Piper, second from Webb. Oh, Ballard. Okay, all right.
It was actually you.
Yeah, I
Start
thought
raising-
Jane said it. I
start
was
raising
giving
your
it, but
hands.
yeah,
Well, you were
I'll take
looking
that
at me,
second.
so I thought it was you, so. All right, we got a motion and a second on that one.
Let's raise
Too
your
much time
hands.
in the sun last week.
Ed, yeah, I think you're right.
Sorry, Ed.
You want to talk about this real quick?
Yeah, basically, we're just requesting a transfer so we can replace 3 computers at the cashier's desk. We're just taking money out of the operating budget and use for capital expenditures.
Questions from council? Roll call, please, Donna.
Ms. Lassiter?
Yes.
Ms. Piper?
Yes.
Mr. Quakenbush?
Yes.
Mr. Webb?
Yes.
Mr. Ballard?
Yes.
Ms. Chambers?
Yes.
Mr. Alexander?
Yes.
Thank you.
Pretrial diversion, I have changes. B 101 should read minus 17,031.63. And C 101 should read plus 17,031.63. Total request is 0.
Move to approve?
Second.
Motion from Piper, second from Quakenbush. Questions from council?
Yes, ma'am. I missed the last one.
I figured you'd get me this time. This employee is actually just transferring to a different line in our department.
Okay, thank you.
And then the next two, the previous one was because an employee resigned, and I got one more.
Thank you.
Roll call, please, Donna.
Ms. Piper?
Yes.
Mr. Quakenbush?
Yes.
Mr. Webb?
Yes.
Mr. Ballard?
Yes.
Ms. Chambers?
Yes.
Ms. Lassiter?
Yes.
Mr. Alexander?
Yes.
Then addendum 1. Have changes. Depends on which one you printed. If you printed Denise's. Okay, so clerk A 117, the first line should read minus 10,792.71.
I don't think I have that one.
Next line, B 117 is plus 10,792.71.
Are you on clerk?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So can you say that amount
Yes.
again?
Okay,
10,000,
10,792.71.
thank you.
D 121 should read minus $10,340.64. E 121 is plus $10,340.64.
Move to approve?
Second.
Motion from Piper, second.
Webb?
Webb?
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna be sure before I say.
Yeah.
Questions from council?
Yes, sir. Mr. Spangler, are these two different clerks positions?
Yeah,
being
these are empty deputy positions. There was a raid on my office in the last month from other parts of the county stealing my employees. I'm going to talk to Tony about it as soon as I can. But no new employees. We're just replacing people that have moved on. And I mean, they're staying within the county. They were well-trained.
I've heard that from a lot of different people. I'm glad to hear that the majority of the ones that we're having are moving within the county.
I just would like for our pay
their
scale to be equal with the courts, since we are part of the courts, so because we are being used as the training station for the county. I've got some I'm losing all my tenured employees. You know, once I get them up and get them trained, then we got to go back to square one. So we're going to be talking about that.
Thank you.
On your transfers, have you been starting new employees at the base pay if somebody's been there for a long time when you're bringing a new person in?
Yes, what we do, that's why we have a double move sometimes. If the tenured employee will put in a position that has a little bit more money to it, so that when we start the new employee, they start at the base.
Okay.
Now, the 90% is
Because
going to
that
help
was
us.
questioned by me, or to me the other day, and Jan didn't think that they were starting at the base.
Yeah, we are starting the new ones at the base.
Okay. You're taking off the 60%. Okay. I just told she
Well,
didn't
we
know
didn't-
anything about it,
We
so.
didn't discuss this at finance, so we need
Okay.
to bring that out.
That's all I have.
We didn't get the changes at finance either.
Well, Rick wasn't able to be there at finance. That's why we didn't. I've got that one checked, and there's another one on down here.
Yeah, I got another one yet.
Yes.
Okay, so we've got a motion and a second on the table. Any more discussion from council? Roll call, please. Donna,
We had to change them because
when you're ready.
they had to be
Okay.
reduced. Mr. Quakenbush,
Yes.
Mr. Webb,
Yes.
Mr. Ballard.
Yes.
Ms. Chambers,
Yes.
Ms. Lassiter.
Yes.
Ms. Piper.
Yes.
Mr. Alexander.
Yes.
Thank you.
Changes. EMS, 139 paramedic minus 22,501, A 139 paramedic plus 22,501, B 116 paramedic minus 16,802.50, C 116 paramedic plus 18,008 or 16,802.50. Total request 0.
Move to approve?
Motion from Piper, second from Ballard. Questions from council?
Yes.
Why is there so much difference there?
Megan Catino, Office Manager, Delaware County EMS. This is a senior paramedic that retired. So he was at the top pay with all the, like he had hazmat increase on there for being a hazmat tech and all this, with him being here for so long. He was here 20 plus years.
Well, why would the B,
So what we're doing is the 139 is becoming the A 139, and I am moving a person who just became a paramedic into that medic spot. So therefore that EMT spot that they are coming out of is available. So I'm transferring money to a new line to put a new EMT in that spot.
why would that A person get as much as that very senior person? You're transferring the whole salary over to them.
I'm putting the whole salary in there, yes, but there's gonna be some that goes back to county general at the end.
Usually, we put the actual salary. We did that right above it.
A lot of times they'll move the balance.
Okay.
They'll do that. They'll move the balance,
right.
but she won't pay them
Fair enough.
that. She'll pay them the base pay.
Yes.
But from what I see on this paper, it looks like the new person's getting,
No, the new person is not gonna make that. I'm just moving that entire remaining balance, right, and then paying them at the rate that they should be So then at the end of the year, there will be some from that line that goes back to county general.
Would you let that show in the minutes, Denise?
So to clarify, the new person won't make the same amount as that?
No.
You're just keeping that dollar amount the same? Or
Okay, does that present a problem in that the auditor doesn't have to pay what the ordinance says?
Pay what the base pay says in the ordinance.
Okay.
did you say what the second line was?
The second line is, so the person that's going into the A139 was an EMT, has since become a paramedic. So we are moving him to a medic line. So now I am opening that EMT spot and putting in a new EMT into that spot. So
it's
that's
just-
what's going to be the C116 is going to be a new EMT
So it's one retiree and one moving up, right?
and one new hire.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's three things at the same time.
So it's gonna be called EMT instead of paramedic?
No, he's down paramedic. The
What she's
EMT
saying
moving.
is the EMT is moving to a paramedic position because they've got that certification or that licensure. So they're going in that position. You're getting ready to fill a position for an EMT to replace the one that you've promoted.
Yes.
Is that correct?
That is correct.
Glad we got it.
Well, I think what Donna's saying is in this line item, it says paramedic.
Paramedic.
That person is in paramedic school right now.
Okay.
So there was no
116
sense.
is,
Yes, they're in paramedic school right now.
because there's no EMT on here, so that's what's
Right.
confusing me when you're talking about
Right.
that. Okay.
He is an EMT now, but he's in medic school. So there was no point in putting him in an EMT spot to come
Right.
back and put him in a paramedic spot. So he just moved into a paramedic spot for when that certification comes in, I don't have to come back here and ask you guys to move him. He's already where he needs to be.
You good with that, Donna?
Yeah.
Okay.
Before you leave, how's Mike doing?
Really good. Yeah, really good. I talked to him a little bit yesterday and going to talk to him again today. He had a doctor's appointment yesterday. So we're hoping that he's going to be able to get up and walk around because we need him back.
Tell him I've got one of those walkers with a chair on it. He needs it. Nice one.
If I have to, I'll push him around the station all day. I want him back. My days have not been the same.
All right, we've got a motion and a second. Any more questions? Roll call, please, Donna.
Mr. Webb?
Yes.
Mr. Ballard?
Yes.
Ms. Chambers?
yes,
Ms. Lassiter?
Yes.
Ms. Piper?
Yes.
Mr. Quakenbush?
Yes.
Mr. Alexander?
Yes.
Community Corrections. 105 HD Case Manager minus 8,932, 197 part-time plus 8,932, total request 0.
Move to approve?
Motion from Piper, second from
Ballard.
Ballard.
This is that grant we talked about last month, isn't it?
No, this, Jay Miranda, Community Corrections, this is our DOC grant that pays our salaries. We have a vacant home detention case manager line that we are needing to move that money to our part-time grant line. So that's what this is.
Is there enough money in that grant? Donna? On that one? Okay, I don't have it in front of me, but
Okay.
I didn't look, but I'm sure.
You don't?
No, he's talking about cash.
okay. Any questions from council? Roll call, please.
Mr. Ballard?
Yes.
Ms. Chambers?
yes,
Lassiter?
Yes.
Ms. Piper?
Yes.
Mr. Quakenbush?
Yes.
Mr. Webb?
Yes.
Mr. Alexander?
Yes,
Thank you.
No.
thank
Oh,
you.
Jane, before you leave, I want to thank Community Corrections for helping us at the fair. You guys did a great job.
Thank you.
just making sure.
Sheriff, A 148 door bailiff minus 14,928.40. B 148 door bailiff plus 14,928.40. Total request 0.
Move to approve?
Second.
Motion from Piper, second from Ballard. Questions from council?
Yes, Miss Nancy.
He
Is this a
retired.
retiree?
Yes. Tired.
Roll call, please, Donna.
Ms. Chambers?
Yes,
Ms. Lassiter?
Yes.
Ms. Piper?
Yes.
Mr. Quakenbush?
Yes.
Mr. Webb?
Yes.
Mr. Alex, or Mr. Ballard?
Yes.
Mr. Alexander?
Yes.
Jail, E-116 correctional officer, minus 13,870.60. F-116 plus 13,870.60. A-104 sergeant, minus 14,291.38. B-104 sergeant plus 14,921.38. Total request is 0.
Move to approve?
Second.
Motion from Piper, second from Quakenbush, I think.
Yep.
All right. Questions from council?
Repeat the previous question.
They both left for better pay.
Okay, thank you.
Roll call, please, Donna.
Ms. Lassiter?
Yes.
Ms. Piper?
Yes.
Mr. Quakenbush?
Yes.
Mr. Webb?
No.
Mr. Ballard?
Yes.
Ms. Chambers?
Yes.
Mr. Alexander?
Yes.
Bridge, excuse me, B-109 purchasing agent, minus 19,983. C-109 purchasing agent plus 19,983. Total request is 0.
Hang on, before we
Got a change on
go there, I've got a change
Oh.
on that.
You have it?
Did you got 15?
17,558.79.
17,558.
Pennies, but I do.
77.
Okay, so B-109 should be minus 17,558.77. C-109 is plus 17,558.77. Total request is 0.
Move to approve?
Second.
Motion from Piper, second from Ballard. Questions from council?
Yes. Okay, so what this is this employee, our old employee B left in November. C came in November. They're paid half out of highway, half out of bridge. So we approved it for the highway. Then when the budget switched, we needed to get it for bridge. So it's the same employee.
This is just cleaning it up.
Yep, cleanup.
You just pay the first half out of one, the second half out of
Correct.
the other.
Yep.
Right, okay.
Thanks for clarifying that.
All right, roll call, please.
Ms. Piper?
Yes.
Mr. Quakenbush?
Yes.
Mr. Webb?
Yes.
Mr. Ballard?
Yes.
Ms. Chambers?
Yes.
Ms. Lassiter?
Yes. Yes.
Mr. Alexander?
Yes.
Sit on that one. Okay, addendum 2. Huh? Is there any extras down there?
Should Nisi grab them? Yeah, here, okay, in my pile here. Hold on.
Computer wasn't cooperating yesterday.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Hang on.
Big deal, you don't have long hair. Right.
Boss has got these out of order. Okay. Clerk, B-128 minus $10,340.64. C-128 plus $10,340.64. C-126 minus $8,042.72. D-126, 8,000 plus 8,042.72. Total request is 0.
Move to approve?
Second.
Ms. Jane.
Motion from Piper, second from Webb.
You didn't, you blamed the courts for stealing all your people, but one of them went to private sector, didn't it?
2 went to courts, 1 went to DCC.
On this one?
Yeah.
So these are transfers as well?
Yeah, it's all, I lost a total of 3 people. I took 1 person and moved her into a higher paying position, so that's why there's 4 transfers and all.
Just for council's information on that, these on this addendum 2, we did not hear these in finance committee, so that'll be
Yeah, this was put on late. It happened, happened just kind of all of a sudden. So I don't know how DCC got the approval and I didn't know about it, so.
Questions from council? Roll call, please, Donna.
Quakenbush,
Yes.
Mr. Webb,
Yes.
Mr. Ballard.
Yes.
Ms. Chambers,
Yes.
Ms. Lassiter, Ms. Piper,
Yes.
Mr. Alexander.
Yes,
Thank you.
thanks.
Prosecutor, low income, A 105 victim advocate, minus 17,000, or excuse me, minus 15,733.25. B 105 victim advocate plus 15,733.25. Total request is 0.
Move to approve?
Second.
Motion from Piper, second from Ballard. Questions from council? Roll call, please, Donna.
Mr. Webb,
Yes.
Mr. Allard.
Yes.
Ms. Chambers,
Yes.
Ms. Lassiter.
Yes.
Ms. Piper.
Yes.
Mr. Quakenbush,
Yes.
Mr. Alexander.
Yes,
Jail Lowit, D 111, minus 13,193.44. E 111 plus 13,193.44. Total request 0.
Move to approve?
Second.
motion for Piper, second from Webb. Questions from council?
This person just left.
Okay, thank you. Predicting my questions.
I
now, right?
did. Yes.
Roll call, please, Donna.
Mr. Ballard.
Yes.
Ms. Chambers,
Yes.
Ms. Lassiter.
Yes.
Ms. Piper.
Yes.
Mr. Quakenbush,
Yes.
Mr. Webb.
Oh,
That was a no, right?
yes, ma'am.
And Mr.
Oh,
Alexander.
That you-
And then when you-
Yes.
If we all voted no, she couldn't hire somebody.
Well, I know, but I think we need to trim it up a little.
Okay, financial agenda.
That's all, that should be all the transfers.
Yes.
Let's hope so.
Transfers, addendum 1, addendum 2.
On the financial
Mine is-
agenda, the commissioners has been withdrawn.
Okay.
The auditor, 310 contractual services has been reduced to 35,000. Total request 35,000.
Move to approve?
Second.
Motion from Piper, second from Webb. Just a reminder, this is coming out of the general fund. And,
This reduction was your recommendation of the finance committee.
yeah, we reduced this from 50. Donna felt like she could get this hopefully done for less. If not, she'll have to come back. But this is for the gap report
Yes.
that the state's requiring us to do.
Real quick, Scott, before.
Yep.
Which one are we looking at here? Because I'm not seeing anything with.
Yep, county general.
This one?
Should,
Commissioners is the first thing on the agenda.
This says circuit court on this one.
You're on the transfer.
I've got an extra
You're on
one
the
here.
transfer. We're on the regular agenda.
I
Oh, yeah?
didn't have it.
I think I have,
Regular agenda.
I don't have the regular agenda.
Yeah, I grabbed every paper, but I didn't have it.
Got one.
Extras.
What's he want?
He don't, Ryan don't have it.
Yeah, you just don't.
I don't think any of us have.
Yeah, I grabbed down there, but I didn't get that one.
I printed it off twice. You
Would
want?
you hand this, do you- is there something on there?
Denise, do you happen to have any additional?
yeah.
Here's one.
I fold them.
I printed it twice.
Yeah, I normally print mine, but I didn't get them today.
We can all share, right?
Yeah. we can
You got
get
it?
this.
Did you get the? I got one.
That, we're sharing, it's fine.
Okay.
Here's one.
Auditor.
Auditor changed to.
Thank you, sir.
Auditor changed to what, 35?
Okay,
Thank you.
are you with us?
Yep.
Yes.
First one was withdrawn, commissioners. Second request that we're on right now, auditor has been reduced to 35,000.
and we've got a motion and a second on that
Yes.
one.
Donna, what's this contract for?
the Baker Tilly to finish the keep. Well, actually, I haven't got the final bill on the last year's gap report, and they're already starting on the new one, so.
It's an
And then I have
hourly
it,
rate.
I already have it in the budget request for next year.
Donna told us at finance that this is an hourly rate.
Yep.
And they, at the request of the auditor, are going to try to keep it as minimal as they can, so. We thought we'd just encourage them to do that by reducing.
And they're, I mean, they have been great. I mean, they're so good to work with and that, when we started this, they wasn't real sure the first year how much it was gonna cost because they had to get everything built up in the system. So next year, when they start working on everything, a lot of stuff will already be there, so the cost should go down each year. So this is just waiting to see what that final bill is and to help start the new year.
This is
When-
relatively new, right? In the past few years, we've started doing this.
Yeah, state made us
Yep.
do gap
Required.
reporting.
Yeah, the state mandated for
Very
counties
expensive.
our size that we're required to do this.
Very timely. Oh.
What
God.
company?
Say that again, Scott.
I remember.
Say it louder. So everybody-
The state required
Yeah.
counties of our size to do this gap reporting. And basically, I guess if you don't do it, then that they won't allow you to bond.
Donna, what company? Oh, you Baker Tilly, you said.
Yes.
I remember when this first started, Donna made the remark one time, I don't know why we're paying them. I'm doing all the work to get them started.
Well, it
Becky
does,
a lot of it.
yeah, it does require the auditor's office to put a lot of effort to get the information in the hands of
Everything we
the.
do for the state now, even regular audits, Becky
Yep.
Becky sends most of the stuff. I help, but, yeah, nobody comes on site no more. So everything has to be sent, or we have to put it in, upload it into their system. It's doubled the work for us, because they don't come in and physically, before they just came in and they had a computer and they could sit and do it, and now we have to send everything.
What was the cost of that initial year? Because they had to get everything all set up. I mean, I know it was, you remember?
I'm gonna guess around 110,000.
Yeah.
I'm guessing. It was 100 and something, so. yeah. Which was a little bit less than what we thought it was gonna be.
Okay. We've got a motion and a second.
Yes.
Roll call, please.
Ms. Chambers,
Yes.
Ms. Lassiter.
Yes.
Ms. Piper.
Yes.
Mr. Quakenbush,
Yes.
Mr. Webb,
No restroom.
Mr. Ballard,
Yes.
Mr. Alexander.
Yes.
Not present. Oh, Lord. Sales disclosure, 212 forms, 11 printing, $5,219. 311 legal services, $2,000. 362 software, $237. 316 pictometry, $5,000. Total request, $12,456.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion from Piper, second from Ballard. Questions from council? Roll call, please, Donna.
Ms. Lassiter,
Yes.
Ms. Piper,
Yes.
Mr. Quakenbush,
Yes.
Mr. Webb, Mr. Ballard,
Yes.
Ms. Chambers,
Yes.
Mr. Alexander.
Yes.
All right, motion to approve financial transfers and to amend salary ordinance with like reductions.
Second.
Motion from Piper, second from Ballard. Questions from council? Roll call, please, Donna.
Ms. Piper?
Yes.
Mr. Quakenbush,
Yes.
Mr. Webb, Mr. Ballard.
Yes.
Ms. Chambers,
Yes.
Ms. Lassiter.
Yes.
Mr. Alexander.
Yes. All right, that wraps up the transfers and finances. I don't think we have any committee reports. Any department heads wish to speak today?
Lauren Teamy, Purdue Extension. We just want to thank everybody that helped make the fair possible. 10 days, over 420 kiddos. It was a really good time. Alexis did a great job, and as well as all of our volunteers and our support staff. It would not be possible without them. I do have our quarterly report as well as some state fair tickets. We don't have quite as many as we normally get, but we still have one for each of you. So I will pass those out afterwards. Thank you.
Thank you for all of your work. I know the fair went off with success. We had the normal things, the hot heat and the weather at the beginning and the end, for sure. But a lot of people came together to make it happen, and we appreciate everybody's support for the fair. I know it was busy. I know Friday night was probably the busiest night that I was there. It seemed like that attraction drew a lot of people in for sure. And thanks to the sheriff's office for all the work that they did out there. I know there were a couple of nights anyway that I heard about, but appreciate all your efforts out there as well.
Do we have any Linda Skeen level winners? No, okay. Linda Skeen, she's like a viral phenomenon. She won like a bunch of records, like all the ribbons for her canning and all that stuff in Kentucky. So had to ask.
I just heard on the news today that Raising Cane bought a lottery ticket for all of their employees for tonight. $50,000 in lottery tickets. Whatever they win, they
Yeah,
will
we're
do.
winning, so they just lost all their money.
But
Raising Cane.
whatever they win, the owner of Raising Cane still keeps the tickets, and any proceeds from it will be divided equally between the employees. That's a good idea.
Well, I mean, county employees can't give up hope yet. We're doing budget meetings next month or the month after.
I hit Mega Millions tonight, you're on your own, buddy.
She's gone.
Let's see.
All right, I got a couple of things here too. We've got under new business, I've got a resolution that I passed out to you guys. This resolution is a resolution, let's see, 2022-015.
015.
And it's a resolution opposing the Indiana Department of Transportation proposed closure of the crossover at Riggin Road, County Road 300 North, and US 35 there. So I need to consider this. I would need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Motion from Piper, second from Webb. Just real quick, I attended the public hearing meeting last week, and several of our, including the sheriff, commissioner, highway department, spoke, as well as lots of members of the public. I would say, what, 45, 50 people, something like that in there, roughly, and no one in favor of it. I've been kind of working on this through some of the different boards, and I think it's an important resolution for us to take a position on. We normally wouldn't take resolutions on other business outside of council, but I think this is an important one for us to consider. So I would entertain any comments or questions that you have regarding this, and look for your approval.
Well, Scott, thank you for calling me and bringing me up to date. I think you called all our members. And you talked about possibly preparing a letter from you as president also, in addition to this. And I would recommend that you do that, because I think the more said, the better.
Anybody else? I'd be happy to do that, Ron.
Yeah, I'd like to say, I'm probably got the least time up here, so I've not had a lot of experience with this. Adopted resolutions that are really outside of our county business, but I've followed some of the feedback from the community, and from what we're hearing, it's an overwhelming objection. So I want to publicly thank President Alexander for putting this on the agenda for the council to consider, to make a statement. I would ask that everyone really give it thoughtful consideration. as far as what the community is asking for, and I look forward to putting our name on this and showing where we stand as a council.
Any other discussion from council members?
It's a resolution number.
015. We have a motion and a second already to approve.
Call for the question.
Donna, roll call, please.
Mr. Quakenbush,
Yes.
Mr. Webb,
Yes.
Mr. Ballard.
Yes.
Ms. Chambers,
Yes.
Ms. Lassiter.
Yes.
Ms. Piper,
Yes.
Mr. Alexander.
Yes. Thank you.
Is this one of those? Does this require two?
It's a resolution, so it's approved. Yeah.
Okay. Great.
The other item of business I have is just wanted to make an announcement regarding the special meeting. Will start at 1 p.m. this Thursday. I've talked to several departments already and kind of gave them a timeline. If there's anybody that doesn't know when they should be there, I believe I've got that in here. I've got highway scheduled at 1 o'clock, the courts 1:30, 911 communications 2, and then 2:30 sheriff and jail. If there are any others, please reach out to me and let's get you on that schedule. We'll only be dealing with some of the salary increases that have been put in the budget that were out of the realm of what we asked for, I guess, there. And I've identified those departments at this point, but if there are others, we'll just put them in line after the sheriff's department. And I think this will, a couple of things, it'll give us a better understanding of what these departments are requesting. It'll also allow us some time to work through some things if we see some issues with it. At this point, we're not going to know where we're at financially, but I imagine it's not going to be much different than the last few years. So anyway, we've got this scheduled for Thursday at 1 o'clock. Any questions on that from council? All right.
I have budget books are at the printer, so soon as they call me, I'll send you all an email to come pick it up.
Great.
If I could just say real fast, I thought I heard someone mention something about it earlier, but I just wanted to thank everyone who helped put on the fair this past week or past couple weeks. I was out there a couple nights and I've seen a lot of our fair board members dedicated out there night after night, and not just the board members, there were volunteers in the community, other county employees, and just really the whole community come together to put on a really good fair and suffer through the heat out there. So I just want to offer my personal thanks and appreciation for your hard work and dedication that week and the weeks leading up to it as well.
Yeah, it was a great fair week, and after all that wild weather we had on Saturday, that fair board was probably pretty busy moving trash cans and putting them back in place, and it
Yeah,
was
poor Rick was trying to get the
Rick,
Republican.
yeah,
tent
Rick
back
was
together.
busy getting tents
I
put
thought
back
it was
together.
gone. I was looking out the window and I thought, oh, it's gonna go.
But yeah, but I guess on that same note, thank you to AEP and everyone else, the highway department, whoever else got out there to help clean up trees and get power back on and all that, because it definitely was a wild, a wild morning. So
That's my son and I were sitting at the dinner bell that morning when it came through, and it was just, I mean, watching the tents
I
take
know.
off down the midway.
We had a few vendors, that their stuff got destroyed.
Yeah.
They just had to pack up and leave, but.
I slept through that whole thing. I had no idea any of it happened.
it was
I'll
wild.
she's not here, but I'll give a shout out to Nancy because she was out there trying to button up some tents right after it went through. We saw her and several others out there just trying to pick up the pieces, but I mean, there were lemons on the midway and all kinds of stuff out there.
And those lemons are 75 cents a piece.
Yeah, that
so-
it was a wild morning for sure.
It was.
Scott, we have no comments on Facebook and no emails have come through.
Okay,
so.
great. All
I have
right.
a handout, and the comments at the top are not mine, but I got this from a friend in Florida, and I'm gonna hand it to my fellow council members.
Okay, all right. With that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn if there's nothing else.
So moved?
Motion from Ballard,
Me? and then
Is
Ballard.
that right?
I
Oh,
voted.
motion from Piper, then Ballard on the second. Okay. Roll call, please. Donna, whenever you're ready. Make sure you sign everything for
Mr.
you.
Webb,
Yes.
Mr. Ballard.
Yes.
Ms. Chambers.
Yes.
Ms. Lassiter.
yes.
Ms. Piper.
Yes.
Mr. Quakenbush.
Yes.
And Mr. Alexander.
Yes.
Her dog would get